You know you're gonna go.
That's right, this is exactly what we go to theaters for. But how did the Fast and Furious cast members feel during filming the incredible 9th installment of the franchise? Amazingly, one of them literally begged Vin Diesel to be included in the saga, while another one had to keep his involvement a secret. And after all the sacrifices, there was the shocking news about the franchise coming to an end. So are the Fast and Furious really ready for the final chapter? Could we have Fast 9 without Letty? Although Michelle Rodriguez has been an integral part of the franchise for the majority of its run, it wasn't a guarantee that she was going to appear in Fast 9. She's been an open advocate for female empowerment since her early days on Fast and Furious. And in fact, in the original script, Letty was quite different from the final version of the character that appeared in the first movie. Her co-star, Jordana Brewster, confirmed that Michelle has completely changed her character from a trophy girlfriend to the really layered character Letty is now. However, several years ago, right after the release of the 8th movie, Rodriguez shared an Instagram post saying that she might not return to her role. I hope they decide to show some love to the women on the franchise on the next one, or I just might have to say goodbye. Fortunately, Michelle agreed to return for the 9th installment of the Fast and Furious, but only after securing an agreement for a new female writer to join the production. And in her opinion, adding this new voice was beneficial for the cast and for the movie.
For me, I win. I win every time any of the women in the franchise get some more airtime and are seen. Not for dating someone or for being a part of some guy's life, but for their own story.
She later added that Fast 9 did justice to all the girls, which she is really proud of. And there was a character who also got the justice he deserved, but we'll talk about him a bit later. For now, let's tell you about Michelle's training. We bet you've wondered more than once about just how much effort she has to put in to be in such a testosterone-fueled movie franchise, and the answer might really surprise you. Rodriguez revealed that, for her, doing any of the Fast movies is like being surrounded by family, so she feels no pressure at all.
And there's nobody to compete with because they're all guys, you know, and like all the girls, I'm always like, you know, I win if they win, so there's no competition really. I actually get kind of lazy.
Well, we think that Michelle's just too modest, and her daily routine leaves her no chance to be lazy. But let's move on to the character who was literally saved by the fans. Justice for Han. Sung Kang's reprisal of his role was one of the biggest joys for fans, as they were outraged when Han was killed off, especially after Jason Statham's Shaw was refashioned as a hero and got his own spin-off. However, for Sung, such overwhelming love for his Fast character was a surprise. Somehow, Han became this beloved character after the movie was made. I had no expectation. I was just there doing my work, just trying to build the character. And Kang definitely didn't expect to be given a chance to return to the franchise. But when Justin Lin reprised the director's chair again, he felt it was the right thing to do to fulfill the fans' wishes.
It felt very much like it was meant to be, you know, and I give the fans so much credit for them to love that character so much that when there was something that was wrong, they voiced it.
Surprisingly, the actor didn't jump at the opportunity right away. Considering that Han had already been revived once, he thought that his story with the Fast movies was over. But Sung couldn't help letting the Justice for Han movement touch his heart. And the moment he got on set, he knew it was the right choice. The emotional bond and connection between the cast members became even more evident now than back in Tokyo Drift times.
After years of not seeing each other coming back together, the camera doesn't lie.
The only thing Sung Kang regrets is that he had to keep Han's revival a secret for so long, because that meant he couldn't be a part of many off-camera events, like Michelle Rodriguez's birthday party, in order not to be caught on camera and spoil the movie plot. Although this discomfort can hardly be compared to the anxiety that a newcomer to the franchise must have felt. The biggest shoes to fill. Incredibly, when Vin Diesel and Justin Lin decided to bring in another Toretto, there was only one person they really wanted for the role. Lin revealed that his first and only meeting for Jacob was with John Cena. And 30 minutes into the meeting, the director called Diesel to tell him they had to connect. Vin also shared he experienced a moment of anxiety when thinking about casting Dom's biggest adversary. Until the moment he met Cena. I didn't really think about it that much because I don't know if anyone will ever believe me, revealed Diesel, but I literally just for some reason felt like Paul had sent him. That's why he didn't think about it for a second, or ask John to read anything before offering him the role. However, Vin felt like he had to warn Cena what he was walking into, and that filming Fast 9 was going to be super challenging. But for John, who was already prepared to give this life-changing opportunity everything he had, Diesel's words only boosted his motivation. Cena admitted that the wrestler-actor career switch has been hard, so he was happy to get an opportunity to prove his abilities, especially in such a huge franchise. And only after he got his hands on the script did he understand what he'd signed up for.
Having to perform at WrestleMania when you're out there for 45 minutes and get knocked around and then having to perform the next night is a different set of bruises than filming an action scene with Dom Toretto, which means a lot of takes, a lot of different angles. If you go through a wall, it's not WWE, you don't go through it once.
Despite all that, he is ready to reprise the role in the two-part Fast Saga finale. We'll tell you about that a bit later. Now it's time to talk about the actor who practically begged to be included in the film. In F9, dreams come true. Back in 2015, Helen Mirren admitted that her great ambition was to be in a Fast and Furious movie. She even shared that she shamelessly begged Vin Diesel at a cocktail party to give her a role in his action-packed franchise. "I almost went down on my knees. Not quite, but I went down on my metaphorical knees to Vin and to everyone," she said at the time. "I always wanted to be in one of those movies." And she wanted to be a villain and a mad driver.
A slightly mad driver, I can be, you know. I can get the speed thing. Oh, well, let's just go. You know, and I have to hold myself back.
As you know, it didn't exactly work in the 8th installment, but in Fast 9, the dame finally got to be behind the wheel. The Oscar winner was super excited to drive an amazing car down the mall in London, calling it the coolest thing ever. Well, of course, it wasn't just about cars and driving. Helen Mirren also loves how the mad ride is underpinned by the real emotions and stories of the family. She also admitted she developed chemistry with Vin Diesel.
There is some sort of strange connection there. Vin has showed himself to be such a sort of gentle and loyal friend. He really is, and I'm very, very lucky to have him a little bit in my life.
But Mirren wasn't the only one we saw driving in Fast 9 for the first time. Nathalie Emmanuel might finally get her driver's license. Fast 9 is the third movie that she plays the tech guru Ramsey in, and Nathalie genuinely enjoys her time acting in the franchise, especially in this movie, which has brought the female characters into the forefront.
On the day that Anna and Jordana and Michelle and I were all on set for the first time together, I was like, this is amazing.
But it turns out it might never have happened. Back in 2015, when Emmanuel was still a part of Game of Thrones, she did the screen test for Furious 7. It was great, but the dates for Furious and Thrones clashed, so she had to walk away. Fortunately, Vin Diesel fought for her, and the producers managed to make it work. Amazingly, Nathalie has something in common with Ramsey. They both can't drive.
Ramsey doesn't know how to drive. Nathalie knows how to drive. Not really. No, I don't. I do know how to drive, I just don't have a license.
Anyway, it didn't really matter in terms of filming, as the sequence with Ramsey driving a truck was actually shot in the studio against a green screen. But Nathalie says the movie made her think about finally getting a driver's license, although she admits that she's been having those thoughts for about 6 years already. Or she might take a couple of more years to think about it, because the finale of the saga is approaching. The ending of the saga is closer than you think. No one in 2001 would believe that 20 years later, these movies would still be with us. It was a surprise even for Vin Diesel himself.
This was a franchise born from the pavement, from the concrete.
And from there, the Fast and Furious literally went into space, making billions of dollars on its way. Loyal fans probably want it to last forever, but incredibly, Vin Diesel says he already sees the finish line. The franchise has a soul, and that soul has to rest, he explained. Amazingly, Diesel and Justin Lin admitted they've been toying with the idea of ending the saga for years. Although at first it was more of an exercise than a plan. But when Lin came back to direct the current installment, Vin suggested that they should think about the closure to the franchise.
So 9 is really kind of the first film of the final chapter. So we're kind of reconfiguring everything so that the next 2 movies should wrap up this amazing journey for these characters.
And just recently, Tyrese Gibson revealed that the director plans to shoot Fast 10 and 11 back-to-back, which means we're going to see the two-part finale with as little wait time between the chapters as possible. Saying goodbye to the beloved characters is definitely going to be bittersweet. Vin Diesel shared that his daughter began to cry when she heard the news, and many fans will definitely shed tears as well. But there's some good news too. Despite the end of the saga, the Fast and Furious cinematic universe can live on in the form of spin-offs. In 2019, Vin already confirmed progress is being made on a women-led spin-off. And just recently, Ludacris said in an interview that the badass girls of the franchise need to get a female-led film of their own. There's no official information about how soon we can expect it, but Fast 9 has already proved that all of the girls are ready to be on the front line. Moreover, the younger generation can step up too. And we're not only talking about Dom's son Brian, but of the real-life children of the cast. Turns out Jordana Brewster's 7-year-old son Julian made an appearance in Fast 9.
He's in the scene where the Magna truck is coming and like takes the iPads out of all the school kids' hands. And I was so nervous.
Not only did the boy catch the acting bug from working on the film, but Brewster was proud to admit that her son already has better comedic timing than her. And Vin Diesel's 11-year-old son, Vincent Sinclair, made his movie debut as the younger version of his dad's beloved character.
And I gotta tell you, it was not my idea. Really? It was the director's idea.
We at OSSA think it would be great to see young Vincent again in the 2 future Fast and Furious movies, and who knows how many more surprises will await us. But for now, if you still haven't had enough of Fast 9, watch our video about the real-life partners of the franchise's cast, and stay awesome!